Go.
Okay, this is my technology presentation, and I've entitled it, "The Students Are Getting Sick, Curing Apathy in Schools with Digital Humanities." Just give you a little bit of an introduction. One big problem that I did have in my classrooms was a lot of students refusing to do my assignments that I gave to them for homework or in class. They did seem to show a large amount of apathy every time I introduced an assignment. You'd be like, "Oh, another one," stuff like that. So throughout my time at the middle school, I tried to find a way that I could get my students to start doing their work, because a lot of them ended up suffering from not doing their assignments. But before we go into that, let me show you technology through my eyes.
Before I entered grad school, most of my technological experience was very simple, not expanding too far from Google and things on the computer, like Microsoft Office, and things like video games and cell phones. But now, after having taken my class, Digital Humanities, the word technology has taken on a whole new meaning, especially when it comes to things inside the classroom. Two websites that I used exclusively in my classroom were Kia.com, which is an online quiz website where I create quizzes online and I can administer them to the students over the computer, which is great because not only, as you saw a little snippet of it, not only does it provide instant feedback, but it desegregates all the data for me so I can see how well the quiz was, what students understood, what parts of it, if I need to change anything, and that's awesome. So it goes question by question when you grade things. Gives you your point value, an average score, students who receive full credit, the number of students who took it. If I scroll down, it'll give me student names with their grades, but for privacy's sake, we will not do that. Another website that I used was flashcardmachine.com. Every unit I assign my students flashcards as a way for them to interact with the material inside and outside of the classroom. So Flashcard Machine allowed students to do this, but electronically, which a lot of them loved. So we'll just go in and we'll make one really fast. Just create a new card. Let's just call it technology again. And we'll say technology is cool. Okay, so up here is the front of the card, down here's the back of it. What's even better is you can change a bunch of things, much like you can in Word on this website. Make it bold, italic, underline. You can change the color. You can move around the orientation. And what I thought was awesome is you can add pictures. So if we want to do this, let's just get an image of technology. Go back to Google here. Use this. All you got to do is hit insert the picture, paste the URL, give it some dimensions that will fit the size. Hit insert, your picture's right there. If students want, they can go up here, go back to my flashcards, choose this set here, and you can start your own little study session where students can go through their cards and look through them. Also, another awesome website that I liked, but I didn't use too much, is Diigo. It's basically an online storage website where you can store files. For instance, in here I've got all my educational technology files, and it's basically just a way to back things up just in case your computer dies or has a virus or something. I also love using things like YouTube, where I've got a bunch of different blogs, and never ever would have thought I'd been blogging, but I actually love doing it now. And my actual blog, WordPress, where I've got a bunch of different blogs about different things about technology. There's some of the vlogs, like for instance, this video ends up being right here. Some more, there's Kia.com, I talk about some differentiation and other stuff. But the next three websites, I think, may have helped me the most. The first one is Khan Academy. It is online video streaming site that basically, walks you through different classes and has different instructional videos on them. So if you're having if your students are having a hard time relating to you teaching the information, you can go through here and supplement your instruction with different videos. And they've got thousands of them as you go down through. Another website I love is Discovery Education. Well, we just focus on the streaming one right now, much like Khan Academy, but you can stream different educational videos that can help your lessons grow and become, more advanced. But you can also go back through here, you can go to My Discovery Education, and you can do a bunch of different stuff here educationally as well. And last but not least is LiveBinder, which is basically an online compendium of different teaching resources. And so this is how I use technology in the classroom.
Okay, and as I kind of talked about, I did experience what I'm going to consider A to Z's in my classroom where students weren't turning in work. Obviously, some students can get by not doing assignments and still do well, on their quizzes, on their tests, on writing assignments, on different types of essays and other assessments. But for a lot of my 7th graders, they couldn't get away with this. And unfortunately, too many of them were not completing assignments. So many of them, their grades and their education overall suffered. So the question that I explored was, how can I get my students to start completing their assignments on time, when they are due? Down here is a nice little cartoon that literally relates to how my classroom was. The excuses that I got from my students ranged from literally my dog ate my homework to my mom threw it out, and I actually had one student turn in a set of flashcards that their mom had done for them because they threw out their flashcard assignment. So it just says I couldn't do my homework because my computer has a virus and so do all my pencils and pens. So now my cure to this was flashcardmachine.com. Flashcard Machine only focused on the study cards, but study cards were such a big part of every one of my units that I felt that if I could get my students to start completing these, they would be able to succeed more in the classroom. So again, these study cards are required for every unit. 25 cards got you an A. 20 was a C. Anything below 15 that wasn't acceptable enough. When I first started teaching, I only had about a 70% completion rate. And that, over the number of students that I had, between 85 and 89, depending on what time of the year it was, having 30% of those students not complete work and suffer on, their assessments, it just wasn't something that, as a teacher, I was willing to live with. So Flashcard Machine was basically it was an electronic platform that my students could turn in. Now, just want to let you all know, I did not require all my students to use Flashcard Machine because some students did not have internet access at home or even a computer at home. And even some students felt that they just liked doing regular flashcards better. So I gave them the option. So not only did they have the option of completing regular flashcards, but now they had the electronic option with Flashcard Machine. And in terms of my results, I was extremely happy with how Flashcard Machine turned out. After I implemented Flashcard Machine and got all the students signed up and had a nice little tutorial day where they could explore and go through and make a practice set of flashcards, when the first set of flashcards were due, after I implemented Flashcard Machine, I had a completion rate of 90%. It jumped 20%, which was huge. This also reflected in the quiz scores that I gave. The corresponding quiz to the first set of cards that came after I started using Flashcard Machine, I saw an 8% increase in the average. It jumped from 71% to 79%, which I thought was great. Honestly, to tell you the truth, with the 87 some odd students that I had, 71% isn't bad overall, but an 8% increase is great. And again, I used Kia.com to administer those quizzes and to break down all the data. I was also able to, on Kia, give a survey to my students about what they thought about Flashcard Machine. Of the 84 students that took it, I had 3 students that were absent the day I gave the survey. 50 of them said they used flashcard machine, so which meant 34 of them didn't. But those that did said that they had a fun time creating these flashcards. And again, I'm of the school that if you can have fun in education, you're going to learn the information more easily. You know, just not only in education, but anything. You know, if you have fun doing what you're doing, it's going to resonate with you more. And again, the students said that they were more likely to complete fun assignments rather than those that they found to be boring or, you know, that they felt did not have any relevance. So again, flashcard machine was awesome. I recommend it for all of you if you guys end up doing flashcards. But that is my technology presentation.